My name is Masuda Sudarji. I am head of electrical department, Human Polytechnic. I am very much thankful to the Honorable Management and Human Islam for providing this wonderful platform for the benefit of the students in this pandemic scenario. So today, I would like to engage a class on the subject Industrial Drives and Controls for final year electrical students. And my topic is 2-wire and 3-wire control circuits and development of existing circuits. So coming to the 2-wire and 3-wire control circuits, this is the basic application of 2-wire control circuit. In this circuit, we are having AC supply and a relay and the load, that is a motor. And here it is control circuit of this main circuit diagram. We are operating this motor with the help of a relay. This relay consists of a coil, and these are the contactor of the coil, and this is the maintained contact, and this is the low voltage supply to the coil. The main feature of this 2-wire control circuit is this maintained contact. So this circuit is having a maintained contact. What is a maintained contact? A maintained contact is the contact will remain in open position till we close it, and it will remain in closed condition till we open it. This circuit is the control circuit of this application. That is this part. That is, this is the contactor, this is the coil, and this is the maintained contact. So when this maintained contact is closed, the low voltage supply is given to the coil, and this coil is energized, which closes the contactor of the coil, and supply is connected to the motor. So this is about 2-wire control circuit, and this is its control circuit. So here you can see the maintained contact. It has only maintained contact coil, and this is the overload release. So what is overload release? In case of any short circuit or overloading, this overload release disconnects the supply to the coil. So when supply to the coil is removed, this contactor gets open and supply to the motor is disconnected. So this is 2-wire control circuits. Now coming to the 3-wire control circuits. Again we are considering an application of a 3-phase motor here. So this application consists of a 3-phase motor and a 3-phase starter. 3-phase starter consists of 3 contacts and 1 coil, and this is auxiliary contact. So these are the main parts of the 3-phase contactor. So the main difference between 2-wire control circuit and 3-wire control circuit is presence of momentary contacts. So what is a momentary contact? Momentary contact is either it is in a state of closed position or in a state of open position. So the contact which is in the state of closed position is called NC contact. We call it as a stop contact, and the contact which is in open position is called NO contact. So the main difference between 2-wire control circuit and 3-wire control circuit is presence of momentary contacts, and in case of 2-wire control circuits there is a maintained contact. Now the working of this application is when this coil is energized, these set of contacts are closed and supply, 3-phase supply is given to the motor. To stop the supply to the motor is, you should remove the supply to the coil. So once the supply to the coil is removed, the supply to the motor is removed, as these contactors are open. So this is the control circuit of this application. So you can see here, in series with the phase, momentary contact, NC contact is placed. and here is the yellow contact, and this is the auxiliary contact. Once we push this yellow contact, the supply is given to the coil and coil is energized and these contactors are closed and supply is given to the motor. At the same time, this auxiliary contact latches or it also closes. Now, supply is given to the coil from two locations. One is through stop, start and the coil, and another way is stop and through this auxiliary contact and the coil. So, even if you release this yellow contact, the supply is maintained to the coil through this auxiliary contact. Hence, the supply to the motor is maintained through these main contacts of the starter. To start the motor, you have to actuate this NC contact. Once the NC contact is actuated, the supply to the coil is removed and these contactors are opened and supply to the motor is disconnected. So what is the main feature of this 3-wire control circuit? What is the main difference between 2-wire control circuit and 3-wire control circuit? Is presence of these momentary contacts in 3-wire control circuit, and in 2-wire control circuit, presence of this maintained contact. In 2-wire control circuit, we are using maintained contact, but there is in the case of 3-wire control circuit, the presence of momentary contacts. One is NC and one is N. So why we use 2-wire and 3-wire control circuits? 2-wire control circuits, we use those circuits in basic applications. Like domestic applications, we use 2-wire control circuits. Whereas 3-wire control circuit, these circuits are used in industrial applications. In case of 2-wire control circuit, if power is removed, if there is a power failure, supply to the load is disconnected. Once power is resumed, directly power is supplied to the motor without the interaction of the supervisor. Whereas in the case of 3-wire control circuit, in case of power failure, the power to the motor is disconnected. Once the power is resumed back, the motor will not start until you manually start the motor. So this is the main difference between 2-wire control circuit and 3-wire control circuits. In 3-wire control circuits, we can use some add-on contacts like limit switches, lever switches. But whereas in the case of 2-wire control circuit, it is very rarely used. So next, coming to the expanding of an existing circuit, we are considering a simple application where you have to lift the water from underground tank to the overhead tank. So this is the overhead tank and this is the underground tank, and here is the electrical component. For this, we are having a simple circuit. So this is the simple circuit to lift the water from underground tank to the overhead tank. Whenever the overhead tank is empty, you need to fill the water into the overhead tank. For that, what you have to do is you push this start button. Once this start button is pushed, the coil is energized and the contactors are closed and supplies continue to the motor, and pump starts and water is start lifting from underground tank to the overhead tank. So this is the basic circuit diagram for that pump circuit. So once the overhead tank is filled, how you come to know that overhead tank is filled? It is by observing the overflow of the water in the overhead tank. To avoid this manual work, how we can improve this circuit so that automatically the motor should stop once the overhead tank is filled. For that, what we add one extra contact into this circuit. So here is the improved control circuit to stop the pump automatically when overhead tank is filled. So what we have done, we have added one extra maintained momentary contact in series with the stop button. So what is this momentary contact? This is NC contact. It is the example of this contact is a limit switch. So we install a limit switch in overhead tank so that once the overhead tank is filled, this switch, it is a normal switch, normally closed switch. Once the tank is filled, this switch gets opened and the supply to the coil is removed and the pump stops. The earlier circuit, it has only one option to look after the overfilling of the tank. But what if the tank gets emptied? Again, you are doing a manually starting the pump. For that, we are improving this circuit by adding another switch in parallel with the start button, that is FS2. So this is a normally open contact. Again, it is a limit switch. So this switch we are installing in overhead tank at the bottom of the tank. So whenever the tank gets empty, this normally open switch gets closed and supply is given to the coil and motor is started. So these two options, so these are the two improved versions of our previous circuit. What first is we are controlling the overfilling of the tank. Now automatically we are making sure that whenever the tank gets empty, it is automatically the pump should be started and the water is lifted to the overhead tank from the underground tank. So this circuit only looks after the level of water in overhead tank. Whenever the overhead tank gets empty, the pump is started, water is filled, and whenever the overhead tank is filled, the pump is stopped. So this circuit looks after only overhead tank. But another one condition is there. What is that? We should look the level of water in underground tank also, whether the water is there in the underground tank or not. For that, we will improve this circuit by installing another limit switch in the bottom of the underground tank. So this switch is normally closed contact, that whenever water is there, some water is there, this switch FS3 is in closed condition. Once the water is totally dried in the underground tank, this switch gets opened. So the motor will only start if there is water in the underground tank. So if there is some water in the underground tank, this switch FS3 closes, and as there is no water in the overhead tank, this FS1 switch is also in closed condition and supply is given to the coil. So pump is started till the water gets filled in the overhead tank, or at least the water gets totally dried in the underground tank. If there is no water in the underground tank, the FS3 gets opened and the pump is stopped. So this is how we improve the existing circuit by installing add-on limit switches for the applications. Hope you will understand. Thank you very much.